dashboard. I will reduce the zoom, like the zoom level here to maybe 80%. And I'll do something here. I'll go to page layout. There's the text. So I'm sending a message. In the separate sum is the separate sum of amount pivot table linked to any of the pivot tables. This one, I actually haven't named it. It's its own pivot table. This is actually a table. It's just a table of the sum of amounts. I can name it as total amount. So all these pivot tables, they're all separate tables. They're individual tables. All right, let's go back to the dashboard. I'll go to page layout. I want to remove the grid lines, so I have this nice gridless view. And what you need to do now is to create charts from each of these pivot tables, and it's straightforward. This one I highlighted, or I just pick it. I go to analyze, right, and then I click on, see right here, pivot chart. I'll click on pivot charts. I have something like this. I think that was what we used. There's no difference. Actually, I'll go with this one. Looks a bit fatter. So I'll click OK. Right? And this can take a little bit of work, by the way, but I hope you can follow through quickly. I have to apologize, guys. I'll probably do like 3 visuals because my throat is really killing me. So let's clean this up. First, I don't need this legend because I already know what it is. I delete that. Then, thank you. This is warm water. Isn't it meant to be hot water? I want it to burn the throat, man. Okay, so okay. So I've removed the legend, right? I want to also remove this. Thanks. I want to also remove this y-axis labels, right? I can just click on the label and press delete. Then I don't want this header, so I'll click on delete. I also don't want the grid lines, right? So I can click on the grid lines. Be careful not to delete the chart itself. Like click on the actual grid lines here, right? And I'll press delete. Now it's looking cleaner, but something is wrong here, right? Well, it's not wrong, but for me, it's off-putting. I can see insurance is higher than maintenance fees, which is higher than marketing. It looks like it's being ordered in alphabetical order, right? I to U. However, I want it to be ordered from the highest amount, right, down to the least. So how do I do that? I come here in the actual pivot table, and I click this drop down here. And then you might be tempted to just do sort A to Z or sort Z to A. That's not what we want to do. What I want to do is to click on more sort options here, right? And then I want it to sort the row labels in descending order, right? By some measure, right? By a sort of quantity. Now, what would that quantity be? By the sum of amounts, right? So by the time I click that, Excel is such a beauty. Okay, so that's that. And then I need to remove this sum of amounts and category. So we click on the pivot chart, go to design. No, sorry, go to analyze. And then you can see this show or hide, right? And then you click the field buttons. I want to uncheck everything. Uncheck this. Uncheck show value this. One critical thing is missing though. How much is salaries? How much is utilities, right? So what I'll do is to click on design. I hope everyone is following. If you're not, the webinar will be available subsequently. I'll share a link. So I'll go to design, and then I go to add chart elements. And I'll go to what? Data labels, right? And I want my data labels to be not there either. Maybe data callout. Inside base, no. Inside end. Center is terrible. Just bear with me a second. I'll click on data callout, and I'll change the chart type to this. So I went back to clustered column instead of stacked column, because the clustered column brings it all the way up. So then this one just leaves it in the middle. So let's go to clustered column, click OK. So what I did there, right? Let me go back. You can see this is the data label. It's showing me the name of the category, also showing me the amount. All I really want is the amount. So when I double click on the data label, it brought this up, this format data labels. So I can just uncheck category name, right? Now that's looking a bit better. And then it has this show leader lines. I don't really want that as well. And I can close it. Or actually, we're not yet done. You can see there's this, it's the data call out. There's this chat type of thing. I really don't want that either. So what do? I go to format. After I've highlighted that, I go to format. You can see shape outline and shape fill. Shape fill, no fill. Shape outline, no outline. Close this and look at that. You have a very nice looking Excel, a very nice looking Excel chart. And if I really want to make it even neater, I don't want to see all this extra. I don't want to see all these extra zeros, right? These lagging zeros. So I highlight all of this, and then I go to home. Under the number, I can decrease the decimal places, right? To 2, right? So there we have it. And I think that's looking all right. That's looking clean, straightforward. So what do I do now? I can Control X, I can cut it. And I come to my dashboard and paste. Right? So I have this here. I can move it, make it a little bit cleaner. If I remember this one, no, don't do that. Control Z. If I remember, this one was all the way to the right here, something like that. Yeah, category details. Right, so let me pull it down a bit. And then reviews. I like Excel because the longer you play with the data, the more you can get out of it. You have a wealth of flexibility available within Excel, right? Now, how do you add this header? Sure, some of you that have tinkered around with it already know. All you do is you insert a text box, right? Insert a text box. Just type maybe category details. Control A. I like using something like that. Maybe make it bold. Put it in the center. Put it also in the middle. And then you can do that. Drag it to the edge here. Put it up a bit and drag it to the end. Something like that. And you can format it and say shape fill. Give it, maybe you can make it dark. And then your text color, you can make it white. So there you have it. You want to change the text, the color, right? You want to change the color of your chart to something like this. I think this one was orange. This orange color, this is it here. Maybe I should copy this. put it somewhere here. I use an orange color, RGB 247, 240, 147, 143. I click on that, I actually double click on it. When you highlight, excuse me, let me actually take out this pivot chart fields. When you highlight your chart, ensure you know what you're highlighting. It's possible for you to highlight only a single column like this and change only its own color like this, right? Only this is highlighted, yeah. So whenever you change the color, only insurance will change. But if I just click out again and then click, you'll see that generally every single one is now captured in the highlight. I want to change every single one. So I go to colors, I go to fill, I go to solid fill, and then I change the color. I can go to more colors, right? And it's asking me to choose from this preset list of colors, or I can go to my custom color and what was it? 240, let me see. 240, no, 240, 147, and 43. 147, and 43. Okay, cool. That's how I got that. I'm going to do one more chart and then add a slicer. Let's say we can call it, the hot water is working, but I still feel like I need to rest. I hope you guys are following along. If you have any questions, just shoot me a text in the chat. All right, we can do this. Oh, one more thing. Let me show you. The yearly one is pretty straightforward. It's also a bar chart, right? This yearly one. It's also a bar chart. The most important elements of this, let me just go through them. You can do these expenses by quarter. It's the same thing, but this expenses by category. Let me show you how to achieve this, and then we'll add the choose period. And then hopefully you guys can complete this and tag myself, tag me rather, and Resa Gratia, which would be pretty cool. But let's go through this. Let's go through this. I will not show I won't show this. So the details here are exactly the details you have here. Ideally, I wouldn't have more than 3 or 4 categories within a pie chart or a donut chart. And I also don't want to show expenses by quarter within a donut chart. Essentially because neither would I want to show yearly expenses, right, within a donut chart or a pie chart. Because usually, right, when you show something that is progressive, when you're trying to show data that is progressive, right, by progressive, you know that Q2 comes after Q1 or Q3 comes after Q2, for instance. The best is to use a line chart or a column chart in this case, where your brain pre-attentively has been designed to go through things left to right, top to bottom. But showing Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 within a pie chart is not the best, for a visual, or 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016 within a pie chart is actually terrible. So for tonight, guys, just allow me use these details within a pie chart. So let's go. So I highlight this again, and then I go to analyze, and then I click pivot chart again. Boom. So I can create another pivot chart, and then this time I'll go to pie. On the pie, I can click donut, right? Just like that, and I click OK. Same thing, same formatting we did before. I remove that. Let me go to analyze, remove that. The legend. Okay. Let me leave the legend because if I take that out. Okay, 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 okay. All right, I'll take everything, which is pretty cool. The legend, you can play around with it actually. You know, you can increase the text size like that or decrease it. You can move it around slightly, shift it. All right. I'm not going to design like the colors a lot in this one. I'll just let it go or let it slide. But then this, I want to reduce the size of this pie. Right, so I can double click on that. And then go to series options. So I double clicked on the donut chart and went to series options. And then there's this donut whole size, right? It's 75%. It's like almost the entire, like, you know, diameter of the outer circle. So I reduce that. Oh, that's too small. Maybe something like this. And I can do something called donut explosion, right? Too much. Come on, Kobe. Maybe this, just to, yeah, 5%. All right. So we have that. I can cut that as well. Ctrl X, paste that here. Ctrl V. Put that by the side. Make the size a bit smaller. Can I make it smaller? Yes, of course. But then I lose some. Okay. So what I can do is to click this and click on this one. And I can press the Ctrl G to group. No, Ctrl G is different here. Let me right click and then go to group and I can group them. So now I can move this chart slightly here. But I don't think this grouping is actually the best. Let me ungroup. So I can move this down a little bit more. Maybe move this aside like so. Make this chart smaller. Yeah, so we're getting somewhere, right? We're getting somewhere. So the orange here for tax is too similar to this one. I'm going to change color of tax. So I'll click on only tax color, the tax slice. I'll go to solid color. Yeah, I think black is not bad. Very dark one. I'll leave it as the dark one. I can as well give it a header. What did I call it before? Expenses by category. Yeah. So I copy that header. I just drop it here. I'll rename it as what? What did we call it now? Expenses by category. Okay. Now when I think we're getting there. It's looking a little bit more like it. Let me increase the size of this. Let me put it a little bit to the right. Increase the size. Something like that. The legend, right? And what did I say I was going to show you? Right, the middle part, right? This middle part. This one, by the way, is a very neat trick. Very, very neat trick. I'll show you how to do it. So how do you do that? You go to your data aggregate, right? This one, right? What you do is you insert a text box. After today, the 25 of you, there are actually going to be more people that will know about it. It's cool. So you create a text box, right? And instead of typing something in the text box, you don't type anything. What you do is you just come here, right? You click the text box and you come into the formula bar here, and you say equals to M, like the exact location of this this value here is M, column M, and row 4, M4 equals to M4, M4. So then you can lock it. Look at that. Look at that, right? I mean, and you can cut that, Ctrl X, and bring it here, Ctrl V. So it's still equal to M4, but it's taking M4 from this worksheet. I will modify that actually and say equal to, and I'll come here and you can see it has already added the name of the worksheet, data aggregate. Now I can type my M4, and I'll lock it. When you lock, you just press F4, or I mean, you make it absolute by adding the dollar symbol before the letter and before the number, and you press OK. And we have this here. You need to format it, so you can put it in the middle, put it in the middle, put it in the middle, change the text, deploy, make it bold, bring it up, make it bigger a little bit. That's too much, actually. Actually, let me come here. Let me move the decimal points here. So this is neater. So I have that update. That's so sweet. And then let's make it maybe something like this. Then we change the color, right, to, yeah, just, yeah, so it's not too dark and distracting. What else? Let me remove any outline that it has, any shape fill, remove any shape fill. And I can put that in the middle here. Actually, going to make it a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit more. All right, let me increase this width. I think we're getting somewhere. And the last thing I'm going to show you tonight is adding the slicer.